Hello, I am Annie Marson and I will be with you in the introduction of this town that is excited to receive your delegation. Aguas de Lindoia is a small town with around 17,000 inhabitants located in the state of São Paulo in southeastern Brazil. It is 117 kilometers from São Paulo and 504 kilometers from Belo Horizonte, the two host cities of the World Cup 2014. 161 kilometers of good roads connect Aguas de Lindoia to the international airport Cumbica in Guarulhos, São Paulo, and 126 kilometers from Viracopos Airport in Campinas. There are also airports to medium-sized aircrafts in Mojimirim, which is 54 kilometers from Aguas de Lindoia and Bragança Paulista. That is 76 kilometers from there. You will know the history and the touristic importance for our economy. The history of Aguas de Lindoia Foundation is very rich. The anniversary of the city in November 16th marks its political emancipation. In the 18th century, the area was called the land of hot water streams and served as lodging for troops en route to the mines in the state of Goiás. The most important character in the history of the town was the Italian physician Francisco Tosi, who at a dawn in the 20th century left his homeland to come to Aguas de Lindoia to provide medical services to the coffee farms owners in the region by the invitation of the priest from a neighbor town. In 1914, Francisco Tosi realized that some sources of water had healing properties. From that moment on, the hydrotherapy has brought development to the city. Even the Polish scientist Madame Curie, Nobel Prize in Physics in 1911, came to this town to confirm the radioactive properties of the water. He was in Italy, recently graduated as a doctor working in Milan. At that time, with the end of slavery, America signaled a bright future for the Europeans. The young man was asked by a priest from the town of Socorro in the state of São Paulo, which in that time had 15,000 inhabitants, to come to work as a doctor for the rich farmers of that time. In 1969, with the Apollo 11, the water was sent to the moon. And I also have the newspaper from that time. The NASA has made a research, and our water was considered the best because it doesn't have smell or taste, and it's good for the digestion, and it's a diuretic and radioactive one. And it takes more time to lose its good qualities. This bottle, for example, is almost 50 years old. Because it is considered to be light and easily assimilated by the body, the NASA, the space agency in the United States of America, decided to send the water from Aguas de Lindoia on Apollo 11 mission that has sent the first humans to the moon. Since early, this town has in this therapeutic use of its medicinal waters its most important source of employment and income for its citizens. Hotels were built for relaxation of those who came to heal themselves, and the tourism made Aguas de Lindoia grow to the state of a hydromineral town nearly 1,000 feet above the level of the sea. Today the city is known as the thermal capital of Brazil. It is located on a branch of Serra da Mantiqueira with its mountain climate of average temperature between 16 and 20 degrees in the months of June and July, and dry air with high rates of oxygen that has body toning and sedative action that recalls the European regions.
The quality of life can be proven by numbers. Infant mortality rate in Aguas de Lindoia is comparable to some countries in Europe. We have just 3.69 deaths of children with up to a year old for each 1,000 births per year. Only 6% of the mothers are less than 18 years old, and only 95 of the newborns are underweight, considered the ideal 5 pounds. Tourist sites are well known by the public, who visit the town constantly.
Besides the natural beauty of our city, the waters, the power of healing, the resort has swimming pools, a water park, baths. It is a veritable spa within the resort. The square has train rides, carriage rides, horseback riding, a great infrastructure of commerce available for everyone. We have rural tourism and a wide variety of fun for everyone who come here. Bars, nightclubs, hotels themselves within their own structure have a great variety of entertainment.
Termas Regionais is a water park with several pools, giant water slides, specific area for children, and sufficient attractions for a full day of fun. With 1,400 feet above the sea level, o Morro Pelado is 4 miles from downtown. From this site you can have 360 degrees of visibility, with the possibility of seeing many neighboring towns. Since 1984, there is a ramp for hang gliders and paragliders. In the dam called Cavalinho Branco, residents and visitors can go hiking, jogging, and ride bikes early in the mornings and in the afternoons. To have fresh air and take beautiful pictures, Morro do Cruzeiro is the place. It offers a privileged view of the town and some neighboring cities. At its peak, there is the image of Christ the Redeemer. It is the favorite touristic site for those who seek inspiration through faith. The thermal capital of Brazil has its thermal balnearium. Designed by Arthur Osvaldo Bretke, this facility was built on the hot springs that have drawn the Italian doctor Francisco Tosi, and these waters were responsible for the foundation of the city. Studies show that the constant ingestion of these waters can bring benefits for the treatments to balance the body. Baths, jacuzzi, Scottish water, bubble bath, and massage are the main services offered. This therapy is considered a healthy way to relieve stress and provide skin care. Downtown, there is a square called Ademar de Barros, surrounded by large hotels. It was designed by the landscape architect Burle Marx.
have been traveling to Aguas de Lindoia for about 6 years now. It is a tourist town, it's very pleasant and good for children. I have a little boy and I always bring him here. He likes to come to the square to play, to see the animals that are on Morro Pelado. Actually, there are several tourist attractions in town.
The square is also the place for departure of trains and carts. Important events bring visitors from around the country, as an old cars exhibit and the Festival of Cavalo Lusitano, considered a Brazilian version of the traditional international horse fair held in Colegã village in Portugal.
The event is so important that benefit neighbor cities that make part of group called Circuito das Águas Paulista.
Will you have benefits with this event?
Sure, it's the biggest classic car event in Brazil, so we have a lot of benefit.
Is it possible for Aguas de Lindoia to welcome a bigger event?
No doubt about it. We have a good structure. With a good hotels, we have roads and streets in a good condition. And I'm sure Aguas de Lindoia has a great potential for bigger events.
We've made a research, and when I saw Aguas de Lindoia for the first time and I saw that lawn in the square, this is the fitting place for the cars. This could be a postcard for the cars. If you look at the lawn and the colors of the cars, it has a beautiful effect. And for the town itself, what are the benefits for this kind of event? Everybody benefits from this, not only Aguas de Lindoia, but all the region. In the hotels, we have a lot of rooms. So, I believe Aguas de Lindoia can welcome a bigger event. Our hotels are among the most successful in the country. Conferences and international conventions events happen during all year round. We have 30 hotels totally ready to receive any type of tourist and a total of 5,500 apartments. Even with all the options offered in different touristic parts of the town, you can spend nice hours while you are inside the hotels. In addition to the great service, all the areas have leisure activities and different infrastructure to meet the needs of their guests. Despite the great knowledge to receive visitors for big events in its hotels, the town doesn't stop improving to receive a delegation during the World Cup in 2014. Aguas de Lindoia is in a region known as Circuito das Águas Paulista. This conglomerate of 8 cities receives about 2 million tourists per year. After all, 50% of all mineral water extracted in Brazil is from this region. The Consórcio do Circuito das Águas Paulista will offer foreign language courses for tourist guides from Aguas de Lindoia and nearby cities.
Training courses for tourist guides of Aguas de Lindoia and neighbor cities will be offered. The initiative will be with foreign professionals and will bring more tourist guides, but also other stakeholders can participate. The guides will have English language course and know everything about all cities that are in Circuito das Águas. In contrast, the guides themselves will help to empower service station attendants, taxi drivers, receptionists, and other attendants of the neighbor cities.
Besides the hotels that work with their whole staff, we have several restaurants in town, from the most simple to the most sophisticated. The workers' union of the hotels will also give their contribution.
We already have 120 open vacancies. The first courses for waiters, waitresses, receptionists, garden margin, and bartenders started in the second half of 2011. But the union had already started training associated professionals by offering courses in basic computer, internet, and English. The program also has a Spanish course for the next year. Aguas de Lindoia, that is essentially a tourist town, has everything that is nice, starting with the climate and the water we have. The town has water resource, and this caused our town to grow as a touristical one. Aguas de Lindoia has it all. The climate is excellent. It's near São Paulo, and even closer from Campinas, and it's properly prepared for so many things, for great events, and also for this one, for sure.
In the physical education classes for children in nursery centers, they have soccer practice with young athletes. Then they form teams that compete in amateur soccer championships. Even the veterans who meet weekly for relaxed games with friends carry all the love for sports activities in their chest, and the consciousness that this initiative is good for their health.
Aguas de Lindoia sporting events are held in several modes. Soccer is our flagship. We receive each year several teams coming from all over Brazil for pre-seasons, as Flamengo, Corinthians, Vasco, Palmeiras, Fluminense, and others have come to Aguas de Lindoia. Especially Al Nassr, that in 2000 made its preparation for the World Championship FIFA that has happened in Brazil, and they trained here. We have a very strong tradition in receiving these teams for pre-seasons and training.
The sports potential of Aguas de Lindoia is very promising. Over 27% of the population of the city are 19 years old. Aguas de Lindoia has a strong connection with sports. Its best known soccer team is Aguas de Lindoia soccer team, the ALEC. In 2002, the ALEC became champion of the third division of the 20 subcategory in competition sponsored by the Paulista Football Federation. Having a partnership with Aguas de Lindoia City Hall, the women's team from the Saad Soccer Club started to send their games to the town, which ensured an exposure to a different media throughout the region. Another famous team in our town is the Brazil Soccer Club, whose structure of practice and accommodations is attached to the Oscar Inn Eco Resort. Our team works to train athletes in basic categories for further transferring to big national clubs, which are interested in new players. Every year, the company Soccer do Brasil promotes soccer competitions for teams with categories of base, having Aguas de Lindoia as one of their references. The tournament Soccer do Brasil gets together over 800 athletes from 4 countries here in Aguas de Lindoia. In the year 2000, during the world competition among clubs that FIFA promoted here in Brazil, the Al Nassr Club was hosted in Aguas de Lindoia and made its preparations in this town.
The owner of the Oscar Inn Hotel is a famous ex-Brazilian player. Captain Oscar, as he is called, played for the Brazilian national team in 3 World Cups. In Argentina in 1978, in 1982 in Spain, and Mexico in 1986. From player to coach, José Oscar Bernardi has instructor clubs in Japan and Saudi Arabia. where he is respected and admired until today. His experience in all the fields and in his journeys around the world was applied in the Oscar-in Eco Resort, a project that was planned and constructed under his international influence to receive soccer teams for training.
And this is our structure to welcome you, your guests, visitors, and the press.
The environmental concern is a priority. Within the 200 acres that make up the resort, an area was transformed in ecological reserve, and it was donated to the Brazilian Institute of Environment, the IBAMA. Several species of wild animals live without any type of containment in this area. Some get to move between the guests. There is a vegetable garden that serves the hotel, and all the fertilizer used is produced in the Oscar-in by a composting system. The hotel has training center with 5 full official soccer fields and a medical assessment service with a physical therapy center. For the welfare of the guests, an Oriental-style pet house was constructed, a perfect calm place to rest and practice meditation. Gym, games room, fishing lake, racetrack, among other recreational areas, are also present in the enterprise. For large events, the Oscar-in has an area for conventions and an octagonal auditorium. The whole structure called the attention of the great soccer teams in Brazil and abroad to come here and train their athletes in the Oscar-in from Aguas de Lindoia. Many soccer teams already have the service of the Oscar Eco Resort Inn from Aguas de Lindoia, including Revolution from the United States of America, Human's Team from the United States, Brazilian Human Team, Luanda Athletic Oil, Pogon Soccer Club of Poland, the team of Trinidad Tobago, Petros from Angola, Flamengo, Fluminense, Botafogo, Volta Redonda, Atlético Paranaense, Cruzeiro, Atlético Mineiro, Bragantino, Corinthians, São Paulo, São Caetano, São Bernardo, Ponte Preta, Bahia, Portuguesa Santista, União São João from Araras, IMG Academy from Florida in the United States, and other teams from American and Canadian schools.
Oscar, as a soccer player who participated in 3 World Cups, what is the importance of a good training center for the players during the World Cup?
I think a good infrastructure of field and grass. What the team aims is a good structure for players, or accommodation, and not just food. Because many teams bring their own cooks and even some foods they are used to eating. I think a good infrastructure of the field and lawn and safety is essential. They need to have everything without leaving the site. Sometimes the hotel offers good accommodation but does not have a good gym. From what I have seen when I participated in the World Cups, I think Aguas de Lindoia not only has a very well-structured training center. In terms of infrastructure for the players, it also has a good structure for the fans in general and for tourists coming to participate in the World Cup. Here we have everything a delegation needs and it's ready. In terms of requirements to be chosen as branch office, Aguas de Lindoia is unbeatable in my opinion. It is a town that has a very good hotel infrastructure, has an excellent climate, is a health resort in the water circuit, near an international airport. There are good routes here and safe. It beats all the other cities in a lot of factors. To accommodate a team, we have quality, because we have all been doing it for some time. We have had many football clubs and teams which have also stayed here, so we know how to handle and organize ourselves during the stay of a delegation. It is a great event, the World Cup. Every city, all the region will benefit from this. The infrastructure that the government itself is giving the roads, improvements move the economy. After the World Cup, our people will be able to enjoy what the World Cup brought. The Oscar Inn is a great partner of Aguas de Lindoia City Hall. We know its structure. It's a first world one. It is actually something similar for Europe. That's why we are partners and we are working for it to happen for the satisfaction of population and especially for the delegation that will choose Aguas de Lindoia to stay. Oscar, without a doubt, captain of the Brazilian team, is a very respected and a player who is known worldwide. Oscar is our ambassador, our captain in this quest to bring a team to Aguas de Lindoia. Oscar is known worldwide and has played in 3 World Cups. One big advantage that the selection will have is that the hotel is next to the field of training. Then they will not have to travel for training. There is also the climate, the hospitality, the privacy that this team will have staying in Aguas de Lindoia, in addition to the water which is our flagship. Look, let's not say that we have experience in preparing to receive a delegation to the World Cup. But you have major events in Aguas de Lindoia. For example, we will have in April the 60th event for the exhibition of old cars, which attracts around 300,000 or 400,000 people in one weekend. We also have in September the party Lusitano Horse that also attracts many tourists. We are prepared for major events and will face one more challenge.